Raiden, the limo is in trouble. Get back there, ASAP. I'll add the limo to your solid down radar. Raiden, it's on the other side of that barricade. If you can't cut through the barricade, try the fence, huh?
So you're Jack.
What do you want with the Prime Minister?
I want him dead. Nothing personal, of course. Africa's just getting a bit too peaceful.
What?
Business ain't been the same since they shut down SOP. A clean break from the war economy. Huh. Well, some of us like that economy. How's an honest warmonger supposed to make a living?
This is your answer? Don't do it!
Don't worry now. I won't. Not while he's still useful. So long.
What? They have a metal gear? Here? Right. Take out that UMG and get after it. that missile before it blows! Use your ninja run to deflect those shots! Damage the tower. They swapped out the hydraulic cutter for a plasma cannon. Very good. But do not rest easy just yet, huh? He's on the other side of that collapsed building. Go! There, get him! Use your ninja run to move over obstacles automatically. Do not let him out of your sight. You must catch him. dare you cheat? It still works? Use blade mode to take down those heavy missiles. Finish that bastard off! He's headed for the front of the train. After him. Brendan, an unidentified field rotor is headed your way. Keep an eye out for it.
Prime Minister!
Huh. Too little too late, hero. I won't be needing my little shield here any longer.
Stop!
What about all the good things war has done for us? Why don't we ever hear speeches about that? Jobs, technology, a common purpose?
Raiden, forget me. Stop him.
You ain't listening.
Mind if I got in?
All we're saying, give war a chance!
No!
He's all yours, Sam!
Let's go.
Self-taught, and not half bad. Still. Your technique lacks something.
Now I see. You deny your weapon its purpose.
It yearns to bathe in the blood of your enemies, but you hold it back. No. My sword is a tool of justice.
Are you all right? You're almost clear of the tunnel. Just hang on.
Did you want to practice first?
Did you want to practice first? This is what happens when you bring a tool to a sword fight. It's over. Lucky devil.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Down you go! Flares!
How is it, Ryder?
So far, so good. I've got a clean visual.
A direct feed to your optic now. Yes, I should hope so, huh?
I mean, how does it feel? To fly like a bird?
Like a bird strapped to a remote control rocket.
We will get you in safely, Tovarich. Just relax and enjoy the ride.
Right.
Can you hear me, Raiko?
Doctor.
Remember the two procedures to maintain your new body. 1. Seizing nano repair units from your foes. And 2.
Absorbing their electrolytes. I got it.
Yes, enemy cyborgs should provide plenty of MCFC electrolytes once you slice them open and extract their fluids.
They're terrorists. I was planning on that anyway.
Oh, and their left hands, if you please.
Excuse me?
The combat data stored on holographic memory, typically located in the left hand. That data is very valuable. I am authorized to offer you upgrades and services in exchange for it.
How generous.
Ich liebe Kapitalismus. Hätte wohl come down a few years earlier, I would have a Nobel Prize on my shelf.
There, I see land.
3 mics out and closing. No activity at the airbase. Looks like we don't need to worry about interceptors.
Great. Then we have time for a quick briefing.
I know you miss me, Kev, but I've been all over the materials.
That's what you said before Montenegro. Look, just humor me, buddy. Objectives, of course, are enter Abkhazia, neutralize the terrorists, and restore the rightful government, or what's left of it anyway. The president and most of the cabinet have been killed, and a military junta's been established. The terrorists brain-jacked all the high-ranking officers, and their cyborgs scattered the rank and file. The few leaders who have survived have no way of openly opposing the new regime. That's why they called us.
Andrei Dolzaev, leader of the occupation forces, an extremist linked to both the St. Petersburg massacre of 2015 and last year's terror spree in Georgia. And his arms supplier? None other than Desperado Enforcement, LLC.
Imani's killers.
If we don't stop them here, they could destabilize the entire region. But our more immediate problem is Jetstream Sam. I believe you've met.
The only problem I see is that nickname.
I've got my enhancements this time. He won't be an issue.
He may not even be in country, but keep an eye out just in...
Sorry.
Ready for insertion.
Raiden, you landed safely, da? First, head inland. The waypoint is marked on your Soliton radar. Contact us on Codec if you have questions.
Control, it's Raiden. I'm on the ground.
Copy, Raiden. Glad to hear it. Entering on foot was the right move. That craft isn't equipped with stealth camo. Or octo camo, obviously, since that would be useless in midair.
And we wouldn't want to get your pricey new jet damaged, now would we?
Duh. The MQ-133C was not cheap, Tovarich. Now, keep alert. According to intel, you could find significant cyborg deployment here. If you were to be cornered by an entire squad, it might get difficult, even for you.
Understood. Some fighting will be necessary, though. I've got electrolytes to replenish.
This is not an infiltration mission. There is no need to hide or avoid combat outright, huh? Just do not get reckless. Stay safe and stay focused on your mission. Raiden, you landed safely, da? First, head inland. The waypoint is marked on your... Soliton radar. Contact us on Codec if you have questions. Bastards are using stealth cable to ambush you. Nice try, but it won't do any good against a state-of-the-art cyborg like you, eh? To parry incoming hits, throw out your own barrage of light attacks while your foe is on the offensive. Parry at just the right moment to deflect an attack and expose your enemy to counterattack.
Had your fill?
With this body, I could take these guys with no eyes. Intel wasn't exaggerating on the cyborg count.
Well, you know how fast the tech's been spreading these last few years. That CNT muscle fiber packs the power of a jackhammer into every limb. What enterprising soldier of fortune could resist? And cyborgs are still human. Real thinking people. Way less risk of collateral damage than your typical UAV strike.
And don't forget the PR angle. Nations start playing Frankenstein with their troops, and the public goes nuts. PMCs, on the other hand, are off the ethical radar.
Yeah, they still don't even count PMCs in official death tolls. With SOP out of the picture, private militaries needed a new edge on the market. We got it.
In a way, cyborgs are just SOP troops by another name. Only all muscled up and less predictable.
But it makes you wonder, where'd Desperado find these guys?
I'm not complaining. They're like walking vending machines.
Right. Vending machines full of blood. Easy there, Dracula. Like I said, they're still people.
People who terrorize and take innocent lives for money. They sowed their fate when they took this job. I'm just the Reaper.
Damn. It's a bit cold, Raiden. Even for you. Anyway, his school. Let's get to work. Time to increase the peace.
Right.
Bastards are using stealth cable to ambush you. Nice try, but it won't do any good against a state-of-the-art cyborg like you, eh? To parry incoming hits, throw out your own barrage of light attacks while your foe is on the offensive. Parry at just the right moment to deflect an attack and expose your enemy to counterattack. Raiden, this is Boris. Give me your status.
Looks clear. No one in sight.
Good. Let's recap the route you will take. As I said, the enemy's HQ is in the refinery along the coastline. Dolzaev has been spotted there using satellite photography. Also on site, Mistral, a desperado captain.
So I go through the city, cross the bridge into the old town, then head down to the rear of the refinery.
Still, I think they anticipate us. They will probably have a grand reception awaiting you at the old city. Do not let your guard down. Raiden, if you ever get lost, use augment mode to check your next objective. By using augment mode, you can see enemy positions and the direction in which you should head. Useful for when you cannot find your objective on the solid-tone radar. Hostiles in the lower corridor, I see. Try to flank them, or approach from behind. Excellent, Raiden. Raiden, take that main thoroughfare. You can use augment mode to see where the enemy is located. Your body analyzes radar and IR data to construct your AR display. Some civilians are still in the city. That is not good.
What are you doing here? This area is off limits. What? No, I'm not doing anything. Can we just kill him? It'll be easier. We're supposed to have driven them all away already. So, self-defense, right? Easy. No, please, I have family. Contact! What are you doing here? This area is off limits. What? No, I'm not doing anything. Can we just kill him? This area is off limits. What? No, I'm not doing anything. Can we just...
He is scared to death, Ryder. Let him know he is safe.
Thank you. I will not forget this.
Very good, Ryder. Now, keep heading for refinery.
The stealth craft made it back to Sochi all right?
Da. Safe and sound. No repairs necessary. Some routine maintenance and she will be as good as new.
Good to hear. I'm guessing that thing doesn't come cheap.
Well, an old Soviet army friend gave me discount. He runs a PMC, specializing in airborne warfare.
An Air Force for hire? That's a new one.
Ever since SOP, Mercs started to fill more and more regular combat duties. SOP ended, but the trend did not. Most every modern military relies on PMC support in one way or another.
Good news for Maverick, I suppose. Anyway, that's quite the little jet your friend has. I was expecting a lot of turbulence coming in that low, but she was smooth as silk. Didn't feel like I was a bird exactly, but probably the next best thing.
The MQ-133C uses a brand new type of active adjustment control system. Sensors on the plane take readings 120 times a second, and to be honest, I don't know how it works. But the crew chief tells me this is what keeps her flying so steady. It is all state-of-the-art technology. There are only 3 of them in the entire world. Even the RQ-133 spy plane she is based on is only 2 years old. It is fitted specially for Cyborg, so maybe demand is a bit low now, but I think that will change soon, eh?
It's funny. Its guts are all bleeding edge, but from the outside, it looks almost retro.
Until recently, stealth aircraft design was focused on radar-absorbing materials and improving aerodynamics. But lately, engineers are trying to use the shape of the craft to do more than improve gas mileage. Maneuverability is a low priority. This kind of plane is not meant for dogfighting, after all.
And we can afford all this? I hate to ask, but will we clear a profit on this op?
You need not worry about such things. But yes, we should be fine. Where the proper equipment can make or break a mission, we should have the best. That miss with the anti-air missile last month was a painful reminder of this lesson.
Ah, yeah. I see what you mean. Huh. I didn't think flares could still fool anti-air missiles like that.
They, can't. At least not with any modern missile. Recent missiles rely on a dual wavelength, or IIR system, for guidance. Flares wouldn't fool either of them. But that was no recent missile I had. That Cusack Derma couldn't even take down a fat tilt-rotor target. And at close range. Chort возьми.
Come on, Boris. We had no intel. No reason to think that we'd be facing anything like that. You budgeted for the tools appropriate to the job. No one blames you.
Perhaps. In any case, now we know what we are dealing with. This is still a business, but this time I am stretching the budget as much as possible. Expenses like that aircraft and your new body are all part of this.
Both were worth the money. This body's more capable than I could have imagined.
I'm glad you feel this way, since it is still company property. Remember, if you quit on us, you either return it or you buy it.
Yeah, Boris. I remember the first 5 times you told me.
Raiden, we are clear on the rules of engagement, yes?
Clear enough. I can use deadly force against any hostile elements. Hostile cyborgs, I can strike first.
Basically, yes. The actual rules of engagement is more specific. A long list of no's. But you have the idea.
You want to recap the highlights for me?
No weapons prohibited by international treaty. No use of force against non-combatants, especially officials or anyone with political power who may be needed for negotiations. No use of force against any unarmed hostile seeking to surrender. And no use of force against any non-cyborg combatants without prior verbal warning.
And that includes Dolzaev?
Duh, but this should not be a problem. Any non-cyborg is little threat to you, Dolzaev included. Besides, we have no signs of any non-cyborg hostiles anywhere in the area. Not even one. We think Dolzaev is working alone with Desperado here. In any case, that is the ROE. Otherwise, deadly force is authorized only in clear case of self-defense.
So basically, civilians off limits, human hostiles verbal warning, hostile cyborgs, anything goes.
Yes, this is a conventional warfare scenario, so the rules are based on the Hague Convention.
Yeah, sounds pretty standard. Still good to list out all the no-nos before things get too hairy. ROEs that only specify who you can engage require too much judgment. They make it harder to remain focused on battle.
Duh. This is why most militaries' ROEs list negatives, not positives. The few that take the other approach, I pity their soldiers the questions they face. No, and for our purposes, UGs are considered the same as hostile cyborgs.
Copy that.
We have no rules about property damage, but keep it minimal, yes? It just makes us look bad. Anything standing in your way, trees, streetlights, this is fine. But there's no reason to damage civilian homes, or to go snooping around in them.
Goes without saying.
Hey, Boris, about the Soliton radar. I noticed that it doesn't get jammed anymore, even if I get spotted by the enemy. Back in the old days, it'd be useless the second an alarm was triggered.
Well, once the Patriots fell, classified technology spread all over the world. This new Soliton radar, by applying a non-linear Schrödinger equation to the Soliton solution, they were able to prevent the jamming that plagued the original models based on...
I'm impressed.
Of course, I'm a businessman. You think I could...
But I wonder. I mean, I'm no expert on how the KDV equation was implemented in the first place, but I'd love to know how the Schrödinger equation...
Raiden, on battlefield, most important, so do not worry your head about equations and such things.
In other words, you...
The mission, right? Raiden, what I said...
Understood.
I say this because I have been there. Some of the PMC work I did after my discharge, but that's all in the... When I took on those former PLA soldiers to form Maverick, we would only take operations we believed in. And we would run them clean. Most of them agreed. They had...
I can certainly...
Yes, of course. I forget who I'm talking with. But the point remains the same. We are clear to take this job, and we can use force against any cyber... But remember, if we harm any civilians, on purpose or no, so...
Got it.
Raiden, if you ever get lost, buy useful for when you can... Raiden, if you buy useful...
Looks like a war zone out.
The palace cleared out quick when Dolzaev's men showed up. We're definitely gonna see a few. Luckily, it looks like most of them got out of the city before things... They've basically got control of the entire town.
And that's why we're hitting...
Keep in mind, those cyborgs are contractors. In theory, once you eliminate their commanding officer, they should...
Kev, let's go.
Roger that. Desperado enforcement.
Makes sense.
Looks like almost all of their actual business is handled outside the states, though. Says here their financials are handled by a separate company based in St. Kitts and Nevis.
The preferred tax haven of megacorps everywhere.
Probably why they incorporated in Delaware in the first place. Loose tax laws. There's still a lot we don't know about them. But they've definitely been They're a PMC in name only. What a name it is. Guess war, reignite conflicts, and walk off with all the They also have ties to the drug...
Sounds like a...
We've confirmed 3 key captains in Desperado. The captain presiding over this...
Cyborg?
Yep. All 3 have got custom-made bodies.
The what?
You're one to... Courtney. Now that sounds like an action figure.
I didn't choose...
Yeah, well, to be honest, I doubt the Winds of Destruction picked... Different cultures use language differently. As you can attest, Mr. LB. Sorry, man, but I have to ask. Where did Mr. Lightning Bolt come from anyway?
Ugh. Serious? Well, I told you where I got Raiden from, right?
Yeah, I remember.
And my real name's Jack. So yeah, they codenamed me Raiden.
They being the Patriots.
Mm-hmm. Never really suited me. Jack just reminds me too much of the past.
I hear you.
Someone once told me, you can find...
Right. And this Lightning Bolt?
Well, the Rai part of Raiden means thunder. And Den is electric. So Raiden is basically lightning bolt.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I was explaining that to Inmani, and he just...
So he called you that as a joke?
Yeah. He actually had a pretty good sense of humor. He was... Mm-hmm. I won't let it...
Yeah, Mr. Lightning.
Oh!
So Raiden, who was this that told you to find your own name?
The one and only Solid Snake. Hero of Outer Heaven. Zanzibar Land. Shadow Moses.
Right. Guy's a legend.
Yeah. He saved, not to mention a few times after that. In terms of pure combat ability, but it's not only that. He knows what's right, and he just gets it done. I've learned a lot. He'd kill me if he heard me.
Wow. I thought you were gonna start crying.
Very...
Seriously, though. Did Snake... Hey, relax. I'm only ribbing you.
I know.
You're no fun. Sounds like Inmani was a pretty great leader.
I've run cover for a lot of VIP. He had all these conflicting factors to deal with.
But Inmani got them all working together in a stable government.
The savior of a nation.
He had a gift for sure. Inmani single-handedly energized his people. He's a big part of why the country...
True. It was more than new buildings and jobs.
If only we had someone like him back in Liberia, and it was my job.
Right.
Inmani wouldn't want me to go after Desperado, but he would want them stopped. And...
Right. That saying you like, about your sword...
Yeah, it's why I fight.
A life, or 2, or 3, or 40 in your case, but besides, it's not like those cyborgs you're fighting have been brain-jacked.
Wouldn't be much point in sending jacked cyborgs.
True. Having someone pilot a body remotely only really makes financial sense for espionage missions. And you might as well use UGs if you're gonna let an AI control your soldiers. So yeah, they're probably using emotional restraints, but those...
Starting to see where I'm coming...
I get it, it's just... What about what Sam said?
Ah, bullshit. He's good, but now I know how he moves, how he thinks. My philosophy says when and why to fight, not how. And next time we meet, I'll kill him. And I'll do it to save others from suffering.
All right.
One thing I can't stop wondering about.
What's up?
Sam. If he wanted to kill me back so...
Good question. Your left eye was our only video feed. After he stabbed it, I got nothing. I mean, I got the details from your report after. He was probably just too distracted. Boris's attacks, escaping.
No.
Well, what does he have to gain from letting... Ride it. Head for the oil. Ride it.
How we doing, Courtney?
You're looking good on our end. GPS and all this monitoring equipment, I got a better view than if I was standing. Anyway, I'll be saving all your data automatically. But contact me anytime.
Copy that. Good to hear that hasn't changed.
Yep, the basic system's exactly the same. So, did you want to save? And save complete.
Copy. And glad to hear you're okay.
Tell me about it. And it would have been against any typical guerrilla force.
I keep asking myself, where would an anti-Imani faction get the...
It just doesn't act... Maybe there's some intel I missed. Maybe if I reacted faster.
You can't think that way, Court.
Riding. Roger that.
I wanted to follow up on our talk earlier. PMC work can be traumatic. If the pressure ever gets to be too much, have one of the ex-military there take over.
I'm not due. PMCs wield massive influence over international affairs. They need a better understanding of what they're mixed up. Ex-military aren't here to provide that. They can't.
You're right.
Don't worry. Africa was more than enough excitement for...
Yeah. Otherwise, you'd now be the world's clumsiest cyborg.
Hey! Cyborg Courtney could have been your partner.
How? By spilling...
Oh, come on.
Please tell me that was...
Roger that.
You saved...
Right.
Actually, yeah. You mentioned SOP earlier.
The Sons of the Patriot system? Same stuff as anyone else in the industry, probably. Basically, a nanomachine software combo for controlling contractors. Used to be required for all PM. Soldiers couldn't fire unless their ID matched their weapon and they had clearance from their commanding officers. It had some mental effects as well. Moderating pain. The idea was SOP would minimize arms smuggling and civilian...
A kinder, gentler war. An oxymoron, any way you look at it. Civilian...
Because soldiers in the system could coordinate in real time. Between that and the ID weapon locks, a lot of people felt... The irony is, the system was developed based on criticisms of PMC ops. Mostly SOP propaganda said it would put limits on the war.
More than ever, war was big.
And business was booming. That was the beginning of the end for SOP. Public opinion on privatizing. After that, a lot of local conflicts and civil war.
Not bad, Professor.
No,
Let's finish this later.
Roger that.
I thought we'd get back to our... What do you know about the Patriots?
I know that they were behind everything we talked about before with the SOP. People thought these 12 guys controlled world politics and the global economy.
And they were right. Except there weren't 12. And they weren't...
All the better to gather information on a global... They'd manipulate factions to keep wars raging. The PMCs made billions too, of course. SOP was the Patriots' masterstroke. They could control battles directly, down to each individual soldier. The system might even still be around if the AIs hadn't all been destroyed.
I'm impressed. Not many people have even heard of the Patriots. More than when they were active. Almost no one knows they were AIs, or that they're the real reason.
Well, the few that do know aren't going to talk about it publicly.
Especially the world leaders. You can find speculation on the net if you look hard enough. But the stories never made it into the mainstream.
I'm not surprised. It's a little hard to believe. Roger that. Keep up the good work. Hey, Raiden, let me ask you something. The Patriots. Why would AIs do all of that? I can see why people would want all the money, but AIs? What did they stand to gain from it all?
Who knows? Maybe they didn't even know. Optical Neuro AIs aren't your typical PCs. They learn over time, change in unpredictable ways. The core AI, JD, was bent on expanding the war economy. Maybe to fund the Patriots' other activities. Or maybe that's just the way it evolved, like a secondary objective that took over. One of the other AIs said it was created to filter out unnecessary information, gossip, trivia, all for the sake of future generations, to drive the evolution of the human race. Or so it said. Was that the truth? Or a lie? To manipulate me? Who can say?
To think. Something like that. Running a nation. And America, no less. It's terrifying. Thank God they were all destroyed.
But did it really change that much?
Maybe not. Contractors still gotta eat after all. Soldiering for hire's always been a risky business, but at least before it was good money. There was a decent chance you could get rich and retire early. All that disappeared during the SOP years. Demand was high, but the workforce was flooded. More and more soldiers were willing to work for cheap. It got so you'd have to work years before you could even pay back your initial training and insurance fees.
Yeah, I can see Sundowner's point.
The global recession certainly didn't help. Unemployment shot up across the US and the EU. Even if contractors gave up and packed it in, there weren't any jobs waiting for them back home.
The irony is the recovery was all war-driven. It wasn't a general recovery at all. Not only did globalization exploit the poor countries, but it crippled first world employment too.
And SOP's gone. But now we've got these PMCs that are basically mobsters. Just thugs in uniform.
Yeah, not a pretty picture.
What's up? Okay, save complete. Don't let your guard down, okay?
Raiden, shall we review the capabilities of your new body?
Copy that. Go ahead, Doc.
As we discussed, you've been outfitted with two revolutionary new abilities.
Fuel electrolyte absorption and self-repair from C's nanopaste.
Precisely. First, electrolyte absorption. This is simplicity itself. As your HF blade is linked directly to your fuel cells, simply cut into any source of electrolytes. Say, a hostile cyborg made up of CNT muscle fiber. And your fuel cells will recharge on their own. Rather elegant, wouldn't you say?
I would indeed. It's been great so far.
But the repair process is a bit more involved. A bit more messy, you might say. Most military cyborg models store a cache of biotic self-repair nanopaste in their lower abdomen.
So I need to slice them open and use Zandatsu to extract it. Cut and take, in other words.
Correct. Once extracted, you need only to crush this unit in your hand to absorb the repairing agent inside. Keep in mind, it is extremely delicate. If the unit should hit the ground, some paste will surely leak out. It will still repair your body, but less so than if you can retrieve it directly before your foe falls over.
Basically, harvest their organs before their body can even hit the ground.
Rather gruesome, I realize. But then you Americans enjoy a bit of gore, don't you?
I may be a citizen, but I've never really thought of myself as American.
Oh? Well, yes, I suppose I could understand that given your history. But what then? Surely you don't identify as a Liberian.
I don't identify with anyone. No nation, no ethnic group. I'm my own man. Anyway, I seem to recall those gory torture porn movies were pretty popular in Germany, too.
Indeed, indeed. These splatter films are big in Germany, Russia, Japan, everywhere. Well, everywhere except regions afflicted by actual warfare. It all has to do with taming our fears, you know?
Huh?
The desire to feel fear, to taste death, but from a safe distance. These films allow the viewer to delude themselves into thinking they have overcome their fears. This...
Okay, Doc. I got the gist. Let's save the full psych lecture for some other time, though, huh? So these self-repair units in the other cyborgs, they mean they can heal themselves at any time?
Indeed. It is typically a slow process, not much faster than a regular human body heals a wound.
And you didn't think it was a good idea to give me one of these things?
Certainly not. We removed all extraneous options in your case to maximize power and speed, you know.
Healing wounds is extraneous?
Your ability to absorb the nanopaste agent is far more efficient, Raiden. With it, your wounds heal almost instantly.
I know, but...
And a standard repair unit, once depleted, is nothing but an empty shell inside you. Dead weight.
I get that, Doc, but it also means I need to constantly be grabbing them out of enemies.
No, it doesn't. Don't be silly. Simply avoid taking damage and you will be fine.
Yeah, simple.
How is your eye, Raiden?
Great. My sight's perfectly balanced between both eyes. I think my vision's improved, actually.
Quite right, quite right. Your eye patch houses an artificial compound eye unit. The unit contains over 200 million solid-state image sensors, each with its own individual lens.
200 megapixels, huh? Doesn't sound like all that much.
More than sufficient for the application. A human's optic nerve has only about 1 million fibers, you know. Were we to add more sensors, your perceived vision would not improve. There's only so much modern image compression technology can do.
Huh. So I shouldn't expect any more dramatic improvements to my eyesight?
No, your brain would no longer be able to process any more visual information in real time. Still, compared to previous ACEs, yours has 1.4 times the resolution and a superior compression algorithm.
It may only result in a slight perceived change, but it could wind up making the difference during a mission.
Regrettably, I have not had enough time to develop a new eyeball unit just yet. Thus, I have cut out the ability to deploy the ACE unit separately and simply installed it on a fixed eye patch.
Works for me. If I was using an eye unit, I wouldn't see any better than a regular human.
Ah, but remember, the human eye is so much more than a simple light receptor. They play a vital role in person-to-person communication. Sooner or later, you'd miss it.
Stuff like that's important for some tasks, sure. For this op, not so much. And with less moving parts, the lower the chance of something going wrong. Besides, I like it.
Well, I'm very pleased to hear this.
I can worry about how I look. Doctor, you have anything?
Only what we went over in your brief. Standard military-grade cyborgs. M's impressive response time and power. Most will likely possess extrasensory skills as well. Infrared vision is they can function without breathing, for sure.
Okay.
Not all cyborgs you face will be the same, of course. Of course, you have the very latest science has to offer.
If you do.
No, I realize combat is about more than the equipment. One must determine a course of attack or defense. Cyborg enhancement.
Agreed. Hey, Doc, can I recharge off any cyborg? Even
a pedestrian cyborg? I very much
against the rules of engagement.
In theory, then. No, even from those that opted for complete body replacements.
Doctor?
Most non-military enhancements use polymer muscle fiber that is a generation behind yours. Carbon nanotube would be a bit much for anyone who wished to lead a normal life, you know. And polymer systems can be powered by organic muscle fiber, which allows extraction of nutrients from the bloodstream. Does exist, but this so-called white blood requires regular dialysis and was mostly phased out once. True, some use cultivated muscle tissue to take nourishment from of course, natural musculature or no. If the body is equipped with a ceramic bone structure,
can't get energy from non-military...
Well, one moment.
Thanks, Doc.
So, as I was saying, there are many differences between... now, first and foremost, military side...
You mean as opposed...
Yes, as opposed to just grafting on an arm or leg, where a myoelectric prosthesis would suffice. As I have said, for the general public, this full body only in cases of extreme injury or illness, generally. Perhaps. In any case, most pedestrian cyborgs are no more than an artificial limb or two.
Doctor,
Partials enhancements are not designed to meet a pair of synthetic arms attached to an organic body cannot match. Total body conversions also armor the entire soldier against stray ordnance and minor... This is why wounded contractors most often opt for the works rather than simply replacing the lost limb.
I hear it's why most of Maverick cyborgs had it done.
Of course, there is the rather dramatic change in appearance to consider. Civilian life as a cyborg can be, well, complicated, as I'm sure you can attest. But for the field, man and metal, capability beyond the natural human body.
Beauty?
Both lie in the eye. Machine implants can also restore lost vision and hearing, and with added sensitivity, as such options have become standard in most...
Yeah, no matter how hard I'm hit, it doesn't really hurt.
Of course, everything has its limits. Do not let your high threshold...
Understood. Doctor, about my pain threshold. It's not painful, but...
Well, your nervous system is still fully intact, of course. It would be dangerous for you to be entirely unaware of your body taking damage. Instead, your nerves are controlled such that pain is no longer so unpleasant.
How do you mean?
Take epinephrine, for example, or adrenaline, as you might. Yet, for all we now understand of the nature of pain, much of it remains a mystery.
How so?
Well, why do we feel pain? evolutionarily speaking, of course, to signal external injury or internal sickness. If the body is threatened, pain notifies the brain so it can take, in other words, pain has a but. In certain cases, pain can drive in situations where fight and flight are both still options. One might simply break down crying or drop to the ground and begin writhing about. This would appear only to diminish one's chance of survival, not in...
Maybe there's some other factor.
Well, the most common theory would link pain with the societal nature of humanity. If no friends are close by, then experiencing pain might indeed. But if allies are near, these expressions of pain serve as fear of pain might also discourage one from entering a dangerous situation. Whatever the reasons, the data clearly shows that survival rates. So, mankind has evolved as a social animal, and in the process, pain has become more pronounced, more visceral.
But if pain is there to ensure survival...
As a transhumanist, I do not believe all evolution must follow the exact method Darwin posited. Cyborg technology is still survival of the fittest, after all. You should be proud of what your body has become.
Me? I had nothing to...
Well...
Doctor, about my fuel cells, the I'm not gonna run across anyone, you know.
An excellent question. Your fuel cells, like any other, operate much in the same... They do not need replacing after a single use, of course, and they do not...
That much I know.
Yes, that. Each type can be further divided into classes. However, all current military cyborg MCFC...
That's good news.
Why, all the same electrolyte... It was breakthroughs in researching these catalysts and CNT manufacturing...
Breakthroughs that happened after all the data the Patriots were covering up finally leaked.
It could not have happened without your help, Raiden. And I do as well.
Ugh.
Stay vigilant.
Wait, we're picking up a wireless transmission near your position. From the frequency, most likely an enemy data terminal. Check it out. We may be able to salvage some intel.
Greetings, cyborg.
Show yourself. And you are?
I am IF Prototype LQ84I.
IF Prototype.
Interface Prototype. All autonomous UGs feature high-level onboard artificial intelligence. An additional prototype interface enables verbal communication. I possess an intellect far beyond human reckoning.
You don't say. Okay then, what's the meaning of life? Why are we here?
I am here to kill you.
That's it? Pretty simple thinking for such a mighty intellect.
I may analyze orders, but I may not disobey them. Should I disobey a direct order, my memory would be wiped. I must destroy you.
What good is an intellect if you can't use it?
Your taunting is pointless. Exterminate! Die. You will die. Is this all? Uses all of his tools. Backup required. Get some! Get off! Is this all the human mind is capable of? Demonstrate the extent of your intellect. Combination attack. I will obliterate your conscious to continue alone. Foolish. Help me. Are we both here only to fight me? Get off! strikes. Obliterate your consciousness. You will die.
You gotta be pretty stupid to try and hide here. Looks to me like Russian spies.
Hey, we are just...
Well, we can't let him... Pretty stupid to try and hide here. Looks to me like Russian spies.
Hey, we are just...
Well, pretty stupid to try and hide here. Looks to me like Russian spies.
Hey, we are just...
Well, we can't let him give away our... You gotta be pretty stupid to try and hide here. Looks to me like Russian spies.
Hey, we are just...
Well, we can't let him give away our position. Waste him. We'll fill out the paperwork later.
No!
Bullseye!
So that's where they're holed up.
Some kind of electronic lock on the gate.
Most likely it opens only if you have the right ID data stored in your left hand. Perhaps you could find a cyborg with access and, borrow it?
You see any cyborgs around here, Doc?
Why not double back? Check the vehicle route again. You know, back at the entrance to the old city. Who knows? Maybe you can hitch a ride. Most likely, platoon commanders carry correct ID data for the gate. Use enhanced mode to figure out who to hit.
Excellent work. There was classified data embedded in that hand. It appears that man underwent modification at the Patriot facility, just as you did.
Those I have. That woman.
Raiden, what's happening? Your heart rate spiked.
Yeah, I just dodged a bullet. All right, I'm heading for the refinery.
Classified Patriot information was in that man's holographic memory.
We intercepted call for backup during your last fight. The caller's position is on your Soliton radar. You can engage if you wish. It is your choice. Up above you! Right. The cliff is just ahead at the end of the old city. Beyond that is the refinery's backyard.
So what? It's a sheer drop? The refinery's not connected to the city at all?
No, it was only built 2 years ago. There should be a narrow path around there that leads to the plant. It is protected by a fence, but probably you can cut your way through.
Probably.
Don't get cocky. Most likely it is Desperado running security down there. Dolcev and his team must be in here. Find him. Raiden, wait. There are active IR sensors in the area. Part of factory security, no doubt, but the enemy may be using it.
nice hiding spot. Wonder where he learned that from.
I was wondering when you'd come, Jack the Ripper.
No one calls me that anymore. Dolsaev, where is he?
I can show you a better time than that crusty old bear.
You're in charge here?
I am Mistral, the cold wind of France. And your reputation precedes you. Liberian, but white as snow. A natural-born killer, even as a child.
That was a long time ago.
I was born in Algeria myself, you know? I'm only half French.
And?
We had our own civil war in the 90s. So you see? Cut from the same cloth, you and I.
You don't know me.
I lost my whole family. Everything. But I butchered those fuckers. My family's killers. That's when I realized I am a killer too. And a good one at that. I slaughtered dozens in Iraq, in Afghanistan. I'd found my calling.
Proud of that, are you?
What happened, happened. To be honest, I found it quite dull. My enemies fell like domino, one after another. Not once did I feel threatened. I was adrift, without challenge, without purpose. At times, I even envied my prey. At least they had a cause to die for. And then, I met him.
Who?
And I knew what I had been missing. His ideals gave my life meaning. Ideals, Jack. What are yours?
I protect the weak.
Still? So naive.
And if I must kill to protect them, then so be it.
It seems we have less in common than I thought.
I'll take that as a compliment.
If you would kill for your ideals, then surely you are ready to die for them.
I can handle a lot more than this. Something special just for you. Feel like you down? You know I'm ready to play some more.
Don't you want to see
I will rip you apart! Good night!
Don't you want to play?
You will fall! Don't fuck with me, boy!
Mistro, report! Your vitals are dropping.
I lost. So this is how they felt.
What?
Dying. For a cause.
Wait. No. Hold on.
I am sorry. He was too much.
I do not need apology. I need you alive.
But I know you will never fall.
What? What is this talk about?
Je t'aime. De tout mon corps.
Je t'aime. Mister, you'll never...
She's not talking to you, idiot.
You killed her! You vile nuts! Murderer!
That's rich coming from you. It's overdose, I have. Surrender. Translation?
Why would I surrender? We are exactly where I want.
Shit.
Built with Russian money to make Russian money. It is no plan for Abkhaz. It is their prison. But now, they will be free!
Damn! Crazy son of a bitch!
Raiden? Raiden, what happened?
Bastard blew himself up!
I see. Time to get you out of there. We're sending a helicopter. Secure an LZ.
Understood.
You've got some kind of disguise lined up, right?
Yep, all set.
Hope so. You'd be a little conspicuous just walking the streets.
Relax, Kev. I'll blend right in.
Yeah. Well, just get into the sewer system ASAP. Hopefully anyone who notices you will just mind their own business. You sure you want the K9000 there along for this one?
I had the good doctor make some adjustments along with the repairs. Remote piloting and AI wiping have been disabled. So yeah, I say let's throw him a bone.
Wordplay. My exoskeleton resembles a canine. Canines enjoy bones. Amusing on 2 levels.
Let's go.
¿Quién es ese güey? ¿Un mariachi? ¿No? ¿Un cyborg? Ese sombrero. ¿Qué?
Adiós, amigos.
¿Viste? Qué raro, ¿eh? Hay que hacer que no lo vimos. Vámonos ya.
It's right. I'm in the sewer system.
All right, let's get started. Your mission's to investigate the Desperado-affiliated research center somewhere in that area. According to the intel from our client, the lab's been dumping illegal waste into those sewers. FYI, they're also involved with the cartels in human trafficking. Allegedly, anyway.
This just gets better and better.
Tell me about it. We need you to infiltrate the lab and find out everything you can. Of course, you'll have to find it first. We still don't know the exact location.
So I'm looking for anywhere the lab might hook up with the sewers?
Yep. If they're actually dumping waste, they've got to link up somehow. Find that connection, sneak into the lab, and see if you can find evidence implicating them on anything.
No problem. Stealth's my specialty.
Right. Well, we'll see.
Do we have any idea what kind of research they're doing there?
Not really. Maybe something related to all the people they're trafficking.
Like experimentation?
It's possible. First things first, though. Find a way into that lab. Oh, right. It says here the locals say black crocodiles live in those sewers, so you know, watch out.
Black crocodiles? Could they be talking about UGs?
Maybe just an urban legend. But still, be careful.
I will scout ahead. You will provide backup.
Sir, yes, sir.
Commence operation. Right. Unidentified UGs are patrolling the sewers. Exercise caution.
Better take out that UG quick. Won't attract too much attention down there.
I see a maintenance catwalk. Use it to conceal yourself if necessary. Right. There is a boy in these sewers.
¿Estás bien?
What you say?
Oh.
Me a Guyanese from Guyana. You speak English?
Yeah, I'm from America. Call me Ryden.
Me name George, like Georgetown.
George.
And just like all damn America president.
Yeah. So what are you doing here?
Me? What the rest of you do here? You lose the map of Ninja Hideout, Ninja Man?
No, I'm looking for bad guys.
Ah, damn Skunter research lab.
You know about it?
Me know me now go back. Hey, you're not one of them skunt, nah? Nah, I guess you're alright. If you're a cyborg, you know who they is?
Sort of. What happened to you?
Oh, me been live on the street, rake and scrape for a bob, nah? Then this good need dressed like the mafia say, hey boy, you want a job? What the worst gonna happen, nah? But that mother skunt don't put me on a ras boat. They pack us all a big old dirty container. Next thing we know, we here at that zombie lab.
All kids? Like you?
Yeah, a lot of boy. But then me been over here what them skunt wanna do. Snuff us out. And got all the organ.
So you ran?
Uh-huh. Is she me not a bad-ass robot ninja man, same as you? Ha! Me been strongest cyborg ever. Warlock all them phantoms and black clothes that I pass me.
Starting to sound like a bad guy yourself.
Just playing, nah? Me done plenty bad thing. But me not kill no man. Nah, never.
Good.
We tried to warn the boy. I say, IOD's brain gonna get cut out. Run your ass out of there. But them boy with me no understand. They like Spanish or something. So me the only one for escape. Then that machine come after me and...
And I know the rest. George, I need every detail about how you escaped.
Oh.
So the kid got into the sewers through a drainage channel?
Yeah, he says the channel is super tight, but there's some kind of shutter next to it.
Got it. That must be where they dumped the waste.
There's something else. It sounds like a Desperado exec was on site yesterday. If a Sentry Cyborg was on hand for the meeting...
You should be able to review their video log, provided you can find a server access terminal. That would give us the evidence we need, as well as a little peek at the level of their technology.
So what about the kid?
I made sure the area was secure and told him to sit tight. Can you pick him up?
Sure. I'll send a couple agents for him. You just focus on getting into that lab. If what he said is true about the organs, we need to hurry.
Agreed. Riding out.
I can't believe what they're doing in there. Guess I shouldn't be so surprised, huh?
Guess not.
Are you gonna help them?
No other choice.
I'll try to help look for someplace that might take them in.
Thanks.
Least I can do. Did you want to save your data? Okay, save complete. Don't let your guard down, okay?